So this is a live record of She Just Closed the Podcast. You guys, this is our first new episode in like a year. And I just looked, in the last 2 years, I've only shared 3 new episodes. So buckle in. We are so back, so back. I can't even begin to explain how back we are, okay? So let's dive in to this very timely topic for me. And I have a question for you to start this off. Have you ever had life knock the wind out of you? So I picture it like this. You're walking in a green field. It's a sunny day. There's a light breeze. And then, bam! Something comes from behind. You fly through the air. You have no control. It's a free fall. And you smack hard into the ground. And you're laying there. You're shocked. You're stunned. What just happened? Like everything was totally fine. And something hit me from behind. You're just laying there looking up at that sky and thinking, I have to get up now. I have to get up now. If you are in any part of that today, the shock, the flying through the air, the bam, crash to the ground, I am so glad you're here because this episode is just for you. Because honestly, you're simply not human if you've never had a moment in life where God changed your plans. He looked down and said, nope, I'm going to turn this upside down. And maybe it wasn't God. Maybe something happened and your life just was turned upside down. So I picture someone, like picture your house. Picture a big giant coming to your house, picking it up out of the ground, turning it over and shaking it. Like the house rocks, it's upside down. Everything drops. Everything's in disarray. So now what? I got to turn this light off. It's driving me crazy. And now my lighting's kind of bad, but what are you going to do? We're doing our best. So that's what we're going to talk about today. This episode is for you if you're going through that free fall through the air. It's also for you if you're going through this like upside down experience right now, or if you know someone who is. Have you guys seen Stranger Things? I'll get into that later in the episode. So I want to ask you a few questions. Is life looking very different from what you thought it would look like? Is the future you planned on for decades, maybe even your entire life, not panning out? Even though you did everything you could, and I mean everything, to make it a reality, it's not. It's not. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you're heartbroken. Maybe you're mad, furious at God, at whoever did this to you, at just the fact that this happened to you because you didn't deserve it. You look around and you see everyone around you getting what they want, and you're not. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm not glad you're in this position, but I'm glad we're here together because I'm in this position too. And I can't wait to get into this episode with you. This episode that is our first in like a year, our fourth in the last 2 years. I mean, we are getting back on the horse, guys. I'm Janie. I'm a joy coach for moms just like you who need a little help getting pulled out of the mud every once in a while. You're stuck in it right now. You might be stuck in a relationship that's harming you. And you clicked on this episode because you figured there might be something in here for you. You might be stuck in a love-hate relationship with alcohol. And I understand that too. You have no idea how much I understand that. Or maybe you do if you've been here for a while. On the one hand, you love alcohol so much, but you hate how it makes you feel afterwards and how much power it has over your life. Reach out, let's talk. You might be stuck in a negative self-talk dynamic with yourself, and it's bleeding into every part of your life, your work, your family, even the way you look. You might be stuck in your work in a new difficult situation, like a sick child, an aging parent, a difficult friendship. And if sometimes you feel the weight of the world is just pushing down on you so hard that sometimes it's hard to breathe, when this is supposed to be the best time of your life, right? Kids are older, you're financially comfortable, life is cruising along. This should be the easy part, right? But it's not. And you just find yourself sitting on your back, looking up into the sky, asking, why am I struggling? Well, if any of those describe you, I want you to know you're not alone. I offer one-on-one life coaching for women. Basically, how it works is you DM me, and I'm on all the socials under She Just Glows. We get you set up with 12 totally private 45-minute sessions. We do them via Zoom. And I'm basically just here for you. Like, I love calling myself your joy cheerleader or like your big sister, because what I give you is neutral, unbiased, big sister. Because what I give you is neutral, unbiased, big sister advice from my own experiences. And we're going to work together to help you build a life you actually love again in a totally confidential, positive, encouraging environment. Also, there's something brand new that I'm offering right now that I want to mention since I haven't done a podcast in so long. It's really cool. If you sign up for this 12-pack of coaching, and I have a discount for you I'm going to get to in a second, but if you sign up for this 12-pack of coaching sessions together, and if you live near me in St. Petersburg, Florida, we can Zoom or we can walk together at North Shore Park for 45 minutes. And I have to tell you, walking has so many benefits when it comes to life transformations that we're working on. Scientifically speaking, you're moving forward, you're moving through things. It feels less stagnant. We get so much accomplished on those walks. I'm actually probably going to do a podcast on it soon. But so you have 12 sessions, and I recommend when we get started that we meet weekly to keep momentum, but you can space them out a little more if you want. They're 12 sessions to use whenever you want. And I am opening my books again right now. Like I said, we are back in the saddle, guys. So I want to offer you a gift for being here. If you mention this podcast episode 58, in your DM or in your email to me, I will give you $500 off your first 12-pack of coaching sessions, which is a huge discount. I've actually never done that before, but I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. So you can join my coaching roster by sending me a DM at She Just Glows on any of the socials, heading to my website, which is in the episode notes, also really easy to remember, shejustglows.com. And you can send me an email at Janie, Janie, at shejustglows.com. And what we can do first is just set up a free 30-minute discovery call. It's a Zoom call, 30 minutes long, or we can do a phone call if you prefer that. Get to know each other, help me learn how I can help you and support you, and then we are good to go. So after every session, one of my clients' favorite things that I hear over and over again over the years is that I send you an email summarizing our session after every session. So you have the delicious tools that you've gathered in the session and that you've learned in the session with me one-on-one. And then you have this email forever. So like I have clients who have even like printed out the emails and put them into a booklet, and they refer back to them years later to be encouraged, to be motivated, to be, what's the word? Something that I get a lot. Something that I get a lot is people tell me that I tell them the things that other people are afraid to, but I do it in a disarming and kind way. So I tell you like it is, and I tell you what you need to hear, but I don't do it in a negative or critical way. And my clients just tell me years later, they keep the emails, they go back, they read them for a free pop of motivation or clarity when they need it. The other thing at the end of those emails is I include a few action items for your optional homework. So those are things that help us build momentum and keep the themes we're working on moving forward for you. And that's the thing about coaching. It's not therapy. It's not therapy. We may talk about your past, and I'm not a therapist, but we're focused on solutions. So solutions are like today and tomorrow. Now what, right? Are you sitting here thinking, now what? What are we doing today? How are we changing this problem in my life like now? So at the end of every session, you have specific action items that you can use in between calls to help you keep moving toward your goals. And those goals, by the way, can be whatever you want. They can be stepping away from alcohol. They can be co-parenting with a harmful person. They can be untangling yourself from some of these limiting beliefs that we have that seep into everything in our life, our mothering, our work, everything. So these sessions are about whatever you want. They're a safe space. And one of the biggest compliments that I've gotten from a client, she actually texted me today. I worked with her a few years ago. Her name is Ashley D. She texted me this morning and just said that what I've been sharing online lately is really inspiring and beautiful. And those words were so meaningful to me. But a compliment that she gave me a couple years ago was this: I feel that I'm more secure with me than I've ever been. Talking about herself. Ashley D felt more secure with herself than she ever had after working with me. So that's my spiel. Reach out if you're interested in one-on-one coaching or something like that. So let's jump in. Okay, so let's jump into the episode. I like to game plan it for you so that you know you're not going to be wasting your time in these episodes. So I'm going to run through what you're going to learn by sticking around for this episode. You're going to learn the life-altering mantra that helped me begin the process of accepting my unwanted future and why that needs to be your mantra too. We're also going to talk about the 3-prong emotional torture cycle that you can get stuck in when your wanted future has been stolen, and how to break out of being stuck there. I'm also going to share my own personal unwanted future with you. I'm going to peel back the onion a little bit. I also have to share God's mic drop response to your very valid feeling that this is not fair. You're laying on the ground looking up at the sky and it's just not fair. Where did this come from? Why me? We will also talk about 6 hacks to getting through your sad girl era. I'm an expert on that now. I've been in 6 months of a sad girl era. I'm even going to tell you my 2 favorite shows to binge watch to escape the pain. You have to laugh or you'll cry, right? How about this? The biblical definition of lament and how to use that in your prayer life. 3 ways to help you break free from the darkness of denial and step into the lightness of acceptance. Denial is so dark. When you accept, it lightens everything. And that's why this episode is called Accepting an Unwanted Future. And finally, I'm going to share 4 journal prompts to help you learn and lighten and move through this season with purpose. And if this gets too long, I might And if this gets too long, I may divide it into 2 parts. But by now, you probably already know if I've done that or not because it'll say in the episode title. So I had a big moment the other day. I went to church on Sunday, like I have been every week. And as they do, someone came up to me and said, "How are you?" For the first time in 6 months, I said, "I'm good." And I really meant it. See, I'm not one of those people who says I'm good if I'm not good. For the last 6 months, it's been like, I'm okay, or just the worst and most awkward. I'll say like, I'm still here, I'm alive. It's like so depressing to ask me how I'm doing, but I'm always going to give you an honest answer. And you probably know that if you've been around She Just Glows for any amount of time. I'm all about being honest, raw, and real above everything else. Some days when people asked me that, I would just be choking in tears, though, I have to be honest with you. My eyes looked like I was silently being tortured as I sat in front of this person in my Sunday best, with my hair done, my makeup on, false eyelashes on. But if you looked closely into my eyes, you can see pain that ran really deep. See, right now I am accepting my unwanted future. My life has taken a turn into some very unexpected circumstances, which I will share very briefly. In 2022, my husband left me, moved out for 4 months, and then came back. And if you're interested in learning more about that, you can go back in this podcast just a few episodes 45 and 46, called exactly that. My husband left. And another episode right after that called Suffering and Surrender. And if you relate to anything that I've just shared in my story so far, I would highly recommend that you go and listen to those episodes, because they are chock full of valuable tools that you can use if you are in something similar. Fast forward to the end of 2025, about 6 months ago from my record day right now. My husband left again. And this time I said, okay. And I will share more at some point. But for now, that's what I've got. So it is fair to say my life has been turned completely and totally upside down. And I am leaving out everything. I mean, I am just telling you the headlines. There is so much more that I can't get into right now. But my whole life has been turned completely upside down. And if you've been through divorce or are going through it now, especially as the non-earner, you know that everything you are used to in your whole life, in every category, financial, relationship, your kids, your home, your emotional comfort, everything is turned upside down. Everything. A friend who's been through this put it really succinctly. And I never knew this until I was going through divorce like I am now. When you go through divorce, you lose everything. You may not actually lose like everything. I mean, you should get half of everything depending on the laws in your state and the length of your marriage, but like you are losing everything. And if you've never been through divorce, first of all, I'm so glad for you. Know that if people in your life are going through divorce, they are really losing everything. It's so much more than just that one person's not in their life anymore. And I never knew that until I was in the seat that I'm in now. So everything, not only that you're used to, everything you planned on, in that expected, wanted future is gone. Like literally in many ways, there is nothing left. And at the risk of sounding too dramatic, it's like a cataclysmic event. Like in your mind, there's before this happened and there's after. Your world is just so rocked. It's turned, like I said, upside down, completely upside down. I mean, I'm at the point right now when looking at almost any photos from before this happened in my life 6 months ago is just so sad. And even if it's not so sad, there are so many feelings there because I didn't know. Like the 6 months ago me had no idea what was coming. Like I just look into my eyes in these pictures or these home videos and I just think she didn't even know what was coming. It's so easy to get stuck in the negative and the sad, and I have been there for months. But today's episode is about accepting an unwanted future. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. Because if you're still sitting in the mud of denial, I completely get it. Been there. It's okay. It's okay if you are hanging on to, like, grabbing your life by the neck, so to speak, and saying, no, I don't accept this change. I don't accept this change to what I expected. Girl, I completely understand that. I did the same thing. But I have to tell you, the sooner you accept that this is real, that this is your future, that this is your life, and it's not changing, the sooner you will be released from the grips of why me. Until you accept what is happening now that you cannot change, you will be sitting in why me forever. Truly. And this is definitely a journey, and I am certainly still on the journey, obviously. But the why me thoughts have become quieter and less frequent. So I don't know where I found this, but somewhere right as this situation in my life began, I found a quote that I kept going back to. Here's the quote. Mental health is accepting reality at any cost. Right? So if you're looking at an unwanted future and you don't want to believe it, First of all, like I said, totally get it. But you're not accepting reality at any cost. So you're not going to feel too great about that. Your mental health is not going to be the best. And I could write a book on the pigsty of life I have been in the last 6 months, physically, emotionally, all of the things. According to psychiatrist M. Scott Peck in The Road Less Traveled, quote, mental health is an ongoing process of dedication to reality at all costs, end quote. So what that means is, if this is really happening and this is really your reality, the sooner you are dedicated to accepting that reality, the better your mental health will be. And let me tell you, I really needed all the mental health I could scrape up, especially 6 months ago when this all started. Because of course it wasn't just about me, it was about my kids, my most precious treasures who I care about more than myself. So my wanted future, the future I had planned on, the future I had counted on, required me to not look at the reality of some things that had kept me there. Since I wanted that future so badly, I was willing to ignore things. I was willing to hide my eyes from the reality that was really happening in front of me. And I have to tell you, I don't know if anyone relates to this analogy. I don't know what you're walking through today. But when all of my future plans were ripped away from me on November 1st, 2025, I was left feeling like I was free falling. Free falling, like someone pulled the rug out from under you. Like the moment the roller coaster drops and your stomach goes all like twinkly, sparkly, like your stomach goes up to your throat. That is absolutely what the first 3 to 6 months of my upside down felt like. So I mentioned Stranger Things at the beginning of this episode. Have you all seen it? My kids love it. It's kind of a evil show, honestly. But one of my kids really loves it, so we'll fast forward some of the parts. And Stranger Things is sort of a fantasy show. And part of the fear factor of Stranger Things is what's called the upside down. So the upside down in Stranger Things is basically the world you know, but everything is upside down, dark, scary. There's like all these scary creatures there. So the upside down in Stranger Things resembles what was. Like you could walk down your street in the upside down on Stranger Things, but it's gray, it's dark, there's a storm, there's this evil guy there who's trying to like kill you, steal your mind. So the upside down resembles what was, but it's also not even close. Like it's just close enough to remind you that you're not home, that you're not in your familiar reality. But you also add in that it's dark and scary and lonely. So it's like you're in that free fall or you've landed. No, not landed. That's too nice. You've been smashed. You've been smashed unexpectedly into that cold, hard ground when nothing anyone can say will comfort you. Nothing. No one can say anything to comfort you. No one can end the pain for you. No one. You're stuck with it. You're stuck living a life where you're in excruciating pain that's going nowhere. And now it's like, okay, I have to live through this pain now. How the blank do I do that? And that's very real. Maybe you know that feeling. When you're going through a tragedy that's so deep that no one can say anything to make it better. No one can fix it for you. And I know everyone goes through tragedies of different kinds. This is mine. Thank you for letting me share it with you today. So every week or two, I would go back to this quote: mental health is accepting reality at any cost. I wrote it in my journal. I talked to my pastor about it. I talked to my sisters about it. I want mental health. So I must accept that this is my reality at any cost. And let me tell you, I did not want to, but I realized I had to. And I was laying on that ground, looking up at the sky, knowing no one's coming to pick me up. No one is coming to pick you up. Yeah, you have support system. You have your kids. You have the people who love you, who surround you. You have your people. But no one can pick you up for you. They can help. God bless them. I have such a great support system that's helped me and come alongside me to pick me up. But truly, you have to pick yourself up to accept your unwanted future. So let's get into how to do that. But first, I want to talk about what I'd also do during this time. I call it my emotional torture cycle. Doesn't that sound fun? Emotional torture cycle. Yay! Yeah, that's what I was doing to myself. It's 3 prongs: denial, despair, why me? Denial that this was happening, clearly. Intense gut-punching sadness, heartache. I can't even describe, like the worst days of my life. That's despair. And then why me? And what's inherent in that question? What's inherent in the question of why me is the intensity of this unfairness. Like, I didn't cause this. I didn't want this, but it's happening. Why me? It's unfair. So rather than continue to be in denial, I kept having to return to the reality that this is happening. And something that helped me here was, why is this happening? Oh, why? Like, why? Like screaming to God, why? Why? Like angry. I mean, I've never cussed at God, but like it's to that level of anger. Like, why? Are you punishing me? You're suffering, you're in pain. Something is happening that you didn't want, you didn't approve of, you didn't cause. Why is this happening? So your first assignment to escaping this 3-prong emotional torture cycle, you got to answer that question. Why is this happening? Why? Your answer may be, I don't know. Yeah, sure. I would invite you to dig a little deeper, and this is absolutely bleh. I would invite you to dig a little deeper, and this is absolutely something that we can do in your one-on-one coaching sessions. Let's dig a little deeper as to why is this happening to you? Here's a few questions I would ask if we were in a call. Are you being protected from something? Did God remove this from your life because you wouldn't? Ooh, that hits. Did God remove this from your life because you wouldn't? What might be the generational impacts of this down the line? Maybe it's not even to protect you. Maybe it's for future people, kids, grandkids. This step of answering this question, why is this happening, for me required prayer. Because I didn't know, I didn't understand why my family had to be fragmented. Why? That's not what God designed. If you're dealing with the sickness or death of a child, I can imagine this step would feel almost impossible. Why is this happening? And to answer that question, the question of why, it might be a lifelong journey for you. But let's get it started, right? If you're a believer, I have to share with you something that helped me because I find it so encouraging. Sometimes we never learn why. I hate that for us. I really do. Sometimes we just never learn why we had to experience these things. You guys know the story of the Israelites. They roamed in the wilderness for 40 years. Do you ever realize or think about the fact that Moses, a holy man, could see the promised land, but his people never made it there in his lifetime? In a weird way, that really encourages me. Because think about it. You might never get this answer in your lifetime as to why this happened. So the only answer is pray, seek, ask, and then another step that we often forget about, be still. Be quiet. Wait for the answer. Like ask, yeah, But ask and wait for the answer. Listen. Look for the answer too. Don't just throw the question, right? That's only the first half or the first 1% of what's going to unfold. Okay. So my boys are home from school today because it's like a field trip day and they're not going, and they're playing Xbox downstairs, and I think it's like interrupting my internet speed. So if you're watching the streaming version of this, I hope you are getting some of this because it keeps saying bad connection. Literally, one thing at a time, one fire at a time, guys. We're streaming, we're recording today. The mics are working. Everything on my end's working. So like one problem at a time, right? So once I started looking for the answer of why this had to happen to my family, I found it. I actually found many reasons. And whenever I would find a reason, please do this, write it down. You're going to forget. Listen, wait for the answer. And when you get it, write it down. Start a list in your journal. Why this had to happen to me. Here's something else I want you to know about this process of accepting an unwanted future and breaking. And here's something else I want you to know about this process of accepting an unwanted future and breaking free of this denial stage of the emotional torture chamber. You don't have to like it. Yeah, that's what I want you to know. You don't have to like it. You're not going to like it. You don't like it. I don't like it. No one likes it. No one likes it. Like, you're going to have to accept something you don't like. I hope that's freeing for you. It's kind of freeing for me. Like, I'm not going to like it. Okay, and? None of us like it. God, listen up. We don't like it. So yeah, you don't like it. But what you do is you break free from denial by 3 things. Asking why this is happening, waiting for the answer, including be still, listen on your walks, write these things in your journal when you fall asleep. Write these things in your journal when you fall asleep. Let me start that over. My gosh. Number 2, waiting for the answer. Be still. Listen on your walks. In your journal when you fall asleep at night, listen. I actually find that so many revelations or realizations come to me right in between completely being asleep and like close your eyes on the pillow, lay on the pillow. That time until the time where I actually fall asleep is when I download so many important revelations for myself. Maybe you're the same. And the third thing you need to know about breaking free from this denial stage is you don't have to like it. More power to you. Don't like it. I don't like it. Let's not like it. I think this is about 30 minutes. I'm wondering if I should take a pause and do a second episode. Okay, so let's get into the second prong of this emotional torture I know you're in. And I know because I've been there. The deep-seated grief, the heartbreak, the worst pain you've ever experienced. That's not an exaggeration, by the way. In the last 6 months, I have been in the worst emotional pain I have ever experienced. And I hope to ever experience, but who knows? And if you have kids who are affected in this unwanted future, I do. Multiply this sickening feeling of pain and grief by 1,000. By 1,000. By 1,000,000. It's horrible. And I'm not going to even keep explaining it with words because if you've experienced it, you know. So how do we break free of the sadness, the lament? Have you ever heard that word? My pastor introduced me to that a few years ago. Lament. And I'm going to define that biblically in our next episode and get to some of these other things that I have for you in accepting an unwanted future. But this is getting to the point where I'm going to take a break. We will be back next week. Wait, no. We will be back in the next episode to continue on with how you can accept your unwanted future. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Keep in touch. Send me a DM on all the socials at She Just Glows. If you're interested in coaching, you can reach out that way. You can also email me at janie@shejustglows.com. And I'll see you next time. Okay, we're going to keep going. Okay, part 2 of accepting an unwanted future. Ugh. Who wants to do that? Not me, not you, but we have to. So if you haven't listened to episode 1, if you haven't listened to part 1 of this episode, I invite you to do that because I get into the background in my life, why I'm sharing this episode, and the beginning of sort of walking you into what we're going to begin with today, which is 6 hacks to synthesize the sadness, feel it, and then be free. Yes, I want to be free. I so want to be free of this sadness, right? Before we get into that, I want to introduce myself again. I'm Janie. I'm a joy coach, and I help moms just like you get unstuck in their life, whether that's from loving drinking a little too much or being in a relationship that feels harmful, but you're in it. And so now what? Wrestling with issues of body image or just imposter syndrome as a mom, as a woman today, as a wife. If you are interested in one-on-one private coaching help with anything that you're walking through in life, I encourage you to reach out on DM on any of the socials. You can find me at She Just Glows. Very easy to remember. My website with my coaching packages is listed in the links in this episode, and it's really easy too, shejustglows.com. My email is janie@shejustglows.com, which is probably what I would see first if you're interested in getting in touch right away. What we can do is set up a free 30-minute discovery call. You can meet directly with me for free for 30 minutes and share with me what's going on so we can work together to get you the support that you need. The way my packages work is you pay for 12 coaching sessions with me that are 45 minutes long. We meet on Zoom, or if you live near me in the Tampa Bay, Florida area, we can actually meet for a 45-minute walk on the water. I have been doing this with one of my local clients for a few months now. It is so wonderful. Walking is forward momentum. Like, do you ever go on a walk and think, I wish I had a coach here with me to help me wrestle through everything on my mind? Girl, I got you. You could also, from wherever you live, go on a walk, and our calls can be just on the phone, and you can have me in your ear, and we can do the calls that way. So there are so many different options. And I mentioned a big discount in part 1 of this episode, Accepting an Unwanted Future. So dig into episode 58 for the biggest discount I've ever mentioned in a podcast episode so that you can get in on that. So that you can get in on that. Okay, so back to this unwanted future thing that we're slugging through today. We're sad. This isn't fair. We're feeling it hard right now, right? Like that's me the last 6 months with my life situation happening. And obviously we want to be free of this sadness. So the first thing that we need to do, this is really important, by the way. Let yourself feel the sadness. Like, don't bury it and try to keep going, please. That is just delaying the inevitable, and it's just going to make you so miserable. So let yourself feel the sadness, like, ouch, hate it. But you have to feel the sadness and the loss and the grief. What does this look like? I'll give you a hint. It's not cute. This is what this looks like. When I go to do my laundry when I'm in this season, which is me the last 6 months, literally my entire laundry is pajamas. Like, we're lucky if we put on athleisure at any point during the day to leave the house. Like, this is a season of no bra, no makeup. For me, minimal hygiene. Like, it's Depressionville, okay? But it's situational depression because this is only because of the loss and the tragedy that you're experiencing right now. It's because of your situation. obviously talk to your therapist. I'm not a therapist, but I knew that my depression was situational. It was because of my circumstances. So let yourself feel the sadness. It's not going to be cute. You're not going to want to take many photos. You're going to do the thing. Like, the second hack I have to feeling the sadness and like then being free of it is literally like just, and this sounds weird coming from a life coach, let yourself go for a minute. Like, it's okay. Not forever, but just let yourself go. Like, let yourself sleep in. Let yourself be sad. Let yourself cry and like eat chocolate cake if you need to. Like, care for yourself in a way that doesn't look like the trendy Pilates green drink in the morning matcha life. Like, that's not where we're at. Okay. By the way, I'm not a Pilates or matcha girl at all. That's just not my vibe. If it is for you, awesome. No shade. But just like from your adopted big sister life coach who would love to talk to you one-on-one, let yourself go. Like, it's really okay. It's going to be for a season. It's not going to be forever. So yeah, like it's a laundry pile when you go to fold your clothes. That's literally like pajamas and that's all. Like maybe a few workout outfits if you had to leave the house to care for your kids. It looks like a messy house. It looks like a full kitchen sink. Honestly, for me, it also looked like weirdly not being able to stomach food for a while. Like, I just felt sick every day from the stress. I survived, honorable mention to IQ bars. Okay. Not sponsored, but like, I have nothing sponsored, by the way. It's just me sharing my life here. I survived on IQ bars because I could not eat like substantial food with actual nutrition. So I just had IQ bars when I could stomach food by like 1 p.m. Like, I literally felt stomach sick every day until about 1 or 2 p.m. It was horrendous. I weighed myself a couple weeks ago. I lost 17 pounds in this process. Like, I'm kind of in a way, like, that's really sad for my body, that stress can really cause such a change in my body. By the way, great book, The Body Keeps Score. I'm still in the process of reading it. I've been in the process of reading it for like 3 years. And once I finish reading it, I'm going to record a podcast episode to just give you guys the Cliff's Notes on the book, The Body Keeps Score, which is an extremely dense book about emotional trauma and how our body internalizes that for years, decades even. If you don't want to miss that episode, make sure you're following She Just Glows the podcast. So it's like sad I lost 17 pounds, but I'm also like, I'm not really mad about it. Like, I'm trying really hard to be mad about losing 17 pounds. Turns out I'm not because, hey, summer's coming. I mean, what do you want from me? I have to be honest. This season also looked like just going back to old things to help escape the pain. What is that for you? You're going to want to go back to it. I'm not saying you should. It's just you want to escape this pain so badly. You might go to alcohol. You might go to shopping. You might go to overeating. You might go to gossiping. You might go to, Xanax or whatever you need. I'm not saying those things are good, but let's be real. When you are in the worst emotional pain that is actually an emotional torture chamber a cycle that you're stuck in, like being stuck in the washing machine, you can't get out. You just have to figure out how you're going to live in this cycle of emotional torture. I want to let you know it's okay to find comfort and accept that some of these things are not the healthiest choices, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend them, but big sis advice, do what you need to do for a minute, let yourself go there within reason, and then get back. And please do not shame yourself for needing a Band-Aid for the pain. Please. Sometimes you just need to numb so bad so that you can catch your breath again. I feel that so hard. By the way, speaking of alcohol, if alcohol isn't working for you and you want to not turn to alcohol this time, which I would highly recommend not, because it's only going to make it worse. And I have so many podcast episodes about alcohol and why you don't need it. So if that's you, scroll back in the show, find some of my other episodes about alcohol. If you need one-on-one support with your love of drinking that's not going to be judgmental, reach out. send me a DM at She Just Glows. Send me an email, janie@shejustglows.com. Let's get a free discovery call going, and I can share how I can support you like right now. Like I could meet with you on Monday, possibly. I'm pretty open on my schedule right now. By the way, something else that I forgot to share about my coaching is not only do we have our 12 sessions per package, which are 45-minute which are 45-minute Zooms or phone calls. The other thing that sets me apart from other coaches is in between sessions, you can contact me on an app called Voxer, which is basically like a voice memo app. So you can get support and feedback from me in between your sessions that you're paying for. That is literally one of the best values you can find. And it's something that sets me apart and that really is great if you're trying to take a break from alcohol, because sometimes you just need help in the moment, and I'm there. So don't numb, or numb a little bit and let's talk. I know it hurts. It hurts so freaking bad. I know. But don't let alcohol win this again. Like, just don't. It's not going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel worse. It's going to make all of your problems even worse, because now you're carrying a 500-pound gorilla on your back. It's going to keep you stuck in this heartbreak cycle even longer. You know alcohol is a depressant, okay? Do I need to say any more? Like, don't do it. The third way to synthesize the sadness and feel and be free is embracing rest. And honestly, sometimes that's just embracing complete distraction. I know that's counterintuitive, especially from a life coach, but hear me out. When my sad era was in progress, I literally started sitting in this one spot on my couch, not on the side, not in the middle, like this one little corner of my couch. It's my favorite spot. And now I just sit there whenever I'm sitting on the couch. My blanket is there, my perfect pillows in a certain order, my phone charger cord, it's near the TV. And I have a name for it, guys. I have a name for it. I call it my nest. So if I'm looking for something, I'll be like asking my kids, like, where is something? I'll be like, did you check my nest? Like, it's now just a member of the family. It has its own name. Yes, your favorite life coach was so depressed because of her tragedy in her life. She ended up sitting on her couch for 6 months in her nest, in her pajamas, binge watching shows, guys. So if nothing else, let my experience make you feel better about where you are right now. It's just so real. So I also completely pick a new show to binge to completely escape reality, since I'm not going to numb with alcohol. But let's numb with TV, okay? Like, I can get behind that. So last time my husband left in 2022, and again, go back to episode 58, the episode before this, if you're interested in the download on that. My binge-worthy show that got me through that separation was Orange is the New Black. You know that prison show where like everyone's a lesbian? And it helped, because I would watch that show and be like, you know what? This all sucks, but at least I'm not in prison. I mean, it could be worse. Literally went through almost that whole show. And then I was like, I can't do the lesbian stuff anymore. Like, it's just, I can't. But this time, my random binge show is, drumroll, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Yes. Because also, surely what's happening to me isn't even as bad as being in some of those dysfunctional friendships and then airing all your business to the world on a show that your kids will one day see. Like, what are we thinking, girls? I could do a whole episode on the Taylor Paul situation too. I'm on Taylor's side. So if you want to chat it out, hit up my comments. Let's do it. Reactive abuse is a real thing. Anyway, let's get back to today's topic, accepting an unwanted future. So why is it okay to let yourself totally compartmentalize your feelings and binge and just be distracted and watch Orange is the New Black or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, or what are your binge-worthy shows? Share them with the class. Here's why. You need rest from your brain. You need rest from your brain because this is so painful that you need to escape reality so you can reset, take a deep breath, and within reason, allow it. Allow it. Because you will come back, but your brain needs a minute. You're carrying something really heavy on your back. It's okay to take a break, compartmentalize, distract, and then come back. Number 4, the most important thing in your sadness era is let it out. Let it out, girl. Let it out with me. Let it out with your sister, your mom, your friend. I ended up starting a video journal, which I don't know if I'll ever share. It's like so personal, but it helped me process. It helped me process what the hell is going on here? What the hell am I dealing with here? I would even like watch it back and be like, damn. And it would help me process in this weird way. And then what I do is I put it in the hidden folder in my phone. That's a tip. You can record these personal video diaries, but like put them in the hidden folder. So on an Apple phone, you go to your top right, the 3 dots in the top right, and then you click put in hidden. That way, if your kids get your phone, they're not seeing mom like, hysterically crying in the video blog. I can tell you I've spent hundreds of hours on Marco Polo with my sisters. Hundreds. So find your safe people. And they may not be who was closest to you before your world turned upside down. That's a really important point, and it's okay. Because this new tragedy, this club that you're suddenly in that you never wanted to be in, may not be a club that your inner circle understands. And that's okay. That doesn't mean they love you any less. It just means, how could they get it? Because they haven't been through it. They don't get it because they haven't been through it. How could they? You also didn't understand this kind of pain until you were here. So let that free you up if you're being frustrated by your inner circle just not getting it or not feeling like a safe space like they once did. Just find other people. It's okay. It's okay. I truly feel the more I shared, within reason, you don't want to be that messy, sad girl all the time. But I really found that the more I shared, especially with other Christians, people at my church, the right ones though, the more support I got. Like, you have nothing to hide about what's happening to you. And it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. I was just talking to my kids about that today. That's kind of what we're talking about now, right? All of this isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And like the fact is, you will cry every day for a long time. Yeah. I hate that. I'd be like, oh, I'm so good today. Something would happen. I'd see an old couple putting Trader Joe's groceries in their car, and the husband was helping the wife with her walker. And I would go run to my car and just bawl. They always say grief comes in waves. And while I didn't experience a death, I am experiencing a divorce. And I have noticed that the grief and the emotion can come at such unexpected times. And I'm sure you know that too. And that's okay. Let it come. Let it come. So you're going to cry every day for a long time. And then one day you won't. You won't. You won't. And I know everyone tells you this. You'll wake up one day and you'll realize this is so good. And I'm just like, I want to cuss at them. Don't tell me that. Like, I'm sure it's true because everyone who goes through a tragedy like I'm going through has told me that. And that's not true of every tragedy. You cry for a while and then one day you don't. One day you stop crying. For me, it was about 6 months after this began. I just stopped crying. I actually began believing something, that this is a good thing. It's painful, it's horrible, it's torture. But I got into a mindset where I truly believe this is a good thing that had to happen. So let's be our best selves through it. But I would almost guarantee that you won't stop crying and you don't begin processing until you let yourself let it out. Find a therapist. Find a coach. Hi, I'm here for you. Find your support system in your church, with your friends, with your family. Number 5, very important, especially with a lot of the distraction kind of stuff that I was mentioning earlier in this episode. Do not shame yourself for any of this. This is sad. This is hard. Do not criticize yourself. I won't allow it. Okay? That's an order. And when we work together, I can help you with that. A lot of my clients, especially surrounding alcohol, but really surrounding so many things, mothering, etc. We carry so much shame as women today. Like shame about who we are, what we're doing, what we're not doing right. Shame does not help you, especially if you're trying to take a step back from drinking and let's say you have a slip up. Shaming yourself makes you want to drink more. And I have episodes about that too. So no, shame, picture shame. Picture shame. It's, what are those weird toys the kids have? I think they're called dumplings or something bizarre. They come in like a wooden circular cylinder box, like a bamboo box. And they're like these squishy like things. Picture your shame as that little squishy thing. Throw it on the ground and stomp on it with your stilettos. That's your shame. Okay, bye-bye. We have no use for you here. Number 6, I gotta tell you guys, get a good playlist. Okay, this was so great for me. I have a playlist on Amazon Music. Of course, I had to get all new playlists because I had to get a new Amazon account. All these things that you don't even think about with the situation I'm going through, big and small, starting over on all my playlists that I've curated for a decade plus. But anyway, started a new playlist. It's called, there's no name. It's just an emoji, and it's the rain cloud emoji. It's like, this is my sad songs. These are my sad songs. I'm going to tell you, we got a lot of Olivia Rodrigo. We got a lot of Billie Eilish. Oh, have you guys heard Sophie Spiro, Die on This Hill? Oh my gosh. Spiro, Sophie. Spiro. Go look up like her top 3 songs. They are bangers. I dare you to listen to them alone in the car and not cry. Okay. We're going to wrap up the third prong of this emotional torture cycle before I get to all that other good stuff that I told you we were getting to. The third prong is the worst one, the deep-seated feeling of injustice. Why is this happening to me? Like, I didn't cause this. This isn't fair. Why me? Why me? Why me? Here's what you need to know about that one. You're right. It's not fair. Correct. Just like when my kids say something, and I love this, you can welcome to steal this from me with your kids. Oh, so-and-so got a cookie and there's no more left. That's not fair. Correct. Correct. Life isn't fair. I'm sorry that happened. I can see why you're disappointed, but it's not fair. You're right. That's life. I heard somewhere recently, and I love this. So if you're a believer, listen in. I think this will really encourage you. God isn't interested in fairness. Look at all the Bible stories. I could go into so many. I'm going to go into one right now, actually. God isn't interested in fairness, but he is interested in justice. God isn't interested in fairness. He's interested in justice. Okay, what does that mean? Think about the story of Joseph. This is another God thing. Within a week, I had 3 different examples of people sharing with me the story of Joseph. I volunteer in Awanas in the 4th graders at our church. The story that night was about Joseph. My mom shared something with me about the story of Joseph. And then my friend invited me to her son's play, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, all in a week. So I said, okay, let's dig into this story. Joseph. If you're not familiar, I'm going to give you a brief rundown. Hopefully I don't mess it up too much. His brothers were jealous of him. He had a beautiful multicolored coat. His brothers threw him into a pit. They sold him into slavery. He didn't see his family for a long time. Was that fair? No. No. Wasn't fair and it wasn't right. And just like you, maybe, Joseph didn't do anything to deserve it. So what did God do? The God of justice, not fairness, but justice. He delivered Joseph. Justice came in the form of Joseph then being in a position of power, and he could have helped his brothers out or not, but he chose to deliver them. I know your situation isn't fair. Mine isn't either. But it will be solved by God's justice, one way or another. It may not be in my lifetime. May not be in your lifetime. Justice will be served. in this life or the next. But until then, it won't be fair. It won't. And sister, I'm sorry to tell you that. I hate it for myself too. The second thing I want to say when you're asking why me is a real life action step that I think will help speak to where you're at and also where I've been. Okay, this is what I did, and it's like such a good hack. It's a great tip. Go on social, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you're on, Facebook. Search for women who have gone through what you're going through. Just find them. And you know, the algorithms are so insane, they'll find you too. Follow them. Follow them. Follow people who have been through what you're experiencing and let their stories encourage you to know that you are coming from a position of victory even when it doesn't feel that way. You are going to make it through. And there will be moments when you don't believe it. Same. So when you don't believe it, let others encourage you from their position in the future of what you're experiencing, from their positions of victory. Because right now in moments, I don't believe my circumstances can be redeemed, but I know they can. Which is really a contradictory statement, but two things can be true at once. So much of this can be so confusing. You want to believe that things will be redeemed. You do, kind of, but also like in moments you don't. You know, social media can be a hard place when it comes to comparison, but use it to connect with other people going through what you are going through. And also, as we're talking about injustice, maybe consider unfollowing people who have what you really want that may not be good for you for right now. But these other people who are going through what you're going through, let their stories of victory and moving forward interlace into a promise to yourself that this season will end and you will be okay. You will be okay. On that note, that is something I want you to write in your journal to remind yourself of. Let's get into these journal prompts. Here's something I want you to write in your journal. This season will end. Absolutely, the season will end. I have a few journal entries that have helped me so much, so I wanted to share them. I think I might have said at the beginning of the last episode that I would have 4. Okay, let's start over with that. I have a few journal entries. Hang on, did I get that right? 4th prompt. Okay, sorry. I have a few journal entries that have really helped me. So I wanted to share 4 journal. I have a few journal entries that have really helped me. So I wanted to share 4 journal prompts that you can try to help work through some of this. The first one is what I just said. This season will end. This season will end. Write it down. Like you're in trouble and you have to write sentences. Some of you use this on your children. Kind of a great one. Write it down over and over to reprogram the neural pathways of your brain. You can teach yourself to believe new thoughts. Did you know that? It's scientific. The more you think these new thoughts, the bigger those neural pathways get. They start as a tiny dirt path. They become 10-lane highways once you start exercising this discipline of thinking this way. So let's exercise the belief that this season will end. It will. Every time I'm upset, I call my dad in this situation. He always says the same thing at some point. Really good advice too, but he always says the same thing. This too shall pass. It will. This too shall pass. This will not last forever. The second prompt I want you to write down in your journal is the word lament. Write lament in the middle of a page, really big, and then circle it. Lament. And then I want you to just free associate all the words, the feelings, the experiences, the emotions, the collateral damage in your life right now that is causing you to lament. Write everything down around that circled word lament. What does lament mean? Do you guys know? You're probably thinking like extreme sadness. It's true, but there's a little more to it. Biblical lament is a passionate expression of sorrow, grief, or complaint. Listen in. Brought directly to God. Brought directly to God. Serving as a prayerful response to brokenness. Bikini. My dog. You're too loud. We're almost done. Biblical lament is a passionate expression of sorrow, grief, or complaint brought directly to God, serving as a prayerful response to brokenness, injustice, or suffering. It is a godly, honest dialogue, so it's not mere grumbling. It's basically deep pain that mixes in with a resolve to trust God's character and promises. So lament is a really powerful spiritual tool. It's not just being sad. It's being sad, taking it to the Lord, and trusting that his promises will prevail. I love that. So bring all of that to your journal and to God. Explain your suffering, process it, write it down, and release it. Release it. The third prompt I want you to write down is a title at the top of a page. So turn the page. We're on a new page now. The top of the page, write down God's promises to me. This is so powerful. And then I want you to think about all of the ways God has protected you, what his promises to you have been over the years, what you've heard from him. You may need to look back in your journal or think back in your life. And if you don't have that right now or nothing's coming to mind, that's okay. It probably will when you lay down on your pillow tonight. But even so, right now, what you can do, you can Google God's promises to his people. Just Google it. Then write down the scripture references that come up in your journal. So write out the reference and then look it up in your Bible. And in your journal, write that entire scripture passage. Like, that's the Lord's promise to you. Write it down. You're going to need it. You're going to need to look back through this journal and feel encouraged. This is a way I really remember and process through scripture because it takes time to write it. And then I have the whole scripture right in my journal. The fourth prompt that is so transformative is this. What is God trying to teach me right now? And this goes back to that why me question. This can be another part of that journey for you. What am I supposed to learn right now? If you're not a believer, what am I supposed to learn right now? What can I learn from this? If you are a believer, what is God trying to teach me right now? Because something I know about every hard thing we go through, there is always an opportunity to learn something that we are supposed to learn. If not, isn't this just a huge waste? Make it mean something, right? Be hungry for that. At some points in the last 6 months for me, that's all I've been able to focus on is what am I supposed to learn? How can I be better through this? Because sometimes it feels like nothing in this is good. And the only way that I can make good of it is to learn something. 5 years ago, when my marriage issues were beginning to reach a crisis point, my life coach, Jody, told me something. And yes, I am a life coach and I have a life coach. And I remember Jody told me this, and she's like, you're going to want to slap me. You're going to hate me for saying this. But in 5 years, you will be grateful for this time. And I thought, no, this is the worst time in my life. I don't think I'll ever be happy this is happening. But you know what? She's right. And even though I'm in a dark season again now, I can lean into that truth. I will be grateful for the lessons I'm learning because in 5 years, they will take me somewhere if I let them. There may be lessons there, but if you're not paying attention, they're not going to teach you anything. Let the pain take you somewhere. Let the pain take you to a better version of yourself. Your pain will be used. Look for how that can happen. What am I supposed to learn here? What is God teaching me right now? So I know everything in your life has changed, but you know what hasn't changed if you're a believer? God. The same God who parted the Red Sea. Remember that Moses story? The same God who parted the Red Sea is the God you pray to every day if you're a believer. I love that song. You know the one I'm talking about. You are the same God. Oh my gosh. That song was part of the worship in church this past Sunday. I was in the front row like a psychopath, raising both my hands, just like worshiping God for being the same. He did miracles then, and he will do miracles in your life right now. You have access to so much power. Use it. Lean into God's promises over your life. Remember, this chapter is not forever. This season will end. This will not define you. In a few years, I firmly believe my situation won't even be a blip on my radar because I will have made something good of it. My life isn't over. Not even close. Lean into God's promises over your life. Remember, you aren't alone. It's taken me about 6 months. The pain is still paining. The hurt is still hurting. The loss is still lossing. But I can see further than that. And I know that God will use this in my life. And he will in yours too. Okay, so I got rid of my old episode goodbye recording because it said, I'm too old for TikTok, so I don't have that. But girl, I have TikTok now too. Can you believe it? So I just want to remind you, you can follow me on all oh my gosh. So I just want to remind you, you can follow me on all platforms at She Just Glows. Remember, you can hit me up. Let me know how I can support you. Send me a DM on all the socials at She Just Glows. Email me at Janie@SheJustGlows, JANIE @SheJustGlows.com. If you are interested in that free 30-minute discovery call with me, head to my website in the episode notes, SheJustGlows.com/coaching to schedule that discovery call. And let's get you set up with a 12-pack of coaching sessions. And I don't think I've said it in this episode, but I'm just going to tell you here at the end. You can get $500 off by just mentioning this podcast episode in your first DM or email to me. $500 off my 12-pack of coaching. Never offered that much of a discount. Thank you for being here. I will see you for the next one. And just remember, you've got this. If you don't believe that today, I want you to know I believe it for you. Remember, today, it looks like your unwanted future. But one day, you and I will see this is actually God's better plan for your life, which is bigger and brighter than we could have ever dreamed.